So, two more stories, brave soul. On the last piece, we establish and that what's arising, the great opportunity, is to harness, to enact the amazing vision that this country that has now spread globally of the American dream, a land of the free, of the brave, of the courageous, following your inner guidance to find your truth to unique and vital gift. That flips the whole thing. You become the imaginal cell. You're able to find the others. We reach its tipping point. Boom, bada beam, bada boom. The butterfly of a new civilization. Right? So to place you in the context of our times and to bring back the hermetic principles that we live in this holographic virtual world, the core plot line is found in our favorite, most cherished, the biggest box office hits. Whether it's Barbie, Finding Nemo, Cars, Avatar, Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, same story, right? The heroine, the fish, the Barbie feels a calling. They usually refuse the call because it's challenging. You gotta break free from normal, be unreasonable, break out of common sense, and step into the unknown. Most of us have not followed that calling, right? Ends up in a world filled in a life filled with regret. But, brave soul, if you are able to find the courage to descend into your innermost cave, to follow your calling, right? And all the stories and all our movies, as soon as they find that courage and step into the unknown, they are sent a talisman, a guide, a Jedi master. As if we live in a universe that's alive and our beloved says, hey, you found the courage, I'm going to help you out. So they find their allies and they keep facing ever increasing challenges that kind of destabilize their perception of reality and of themselves. Humble clues are left again as if the universe is in conversation with us, leading us towards our realization. These challenges continue to escalate until dark and nefarious forces threaten everything that's sacred and essential to life. At this point, the imaginal cell, the heroine, the hero, faces a critical choice. They can either continue to fight a perilous war against the outer enemy, trying to control what's out of their control, witnessing the destruction of everything that they love and cherish and is sacred, or they find the courage to descend into their innermost cave to address the real root cause of their challenges, the Wetiko disease, their limiting thoughts, beliefs, and stories about the world and their place within it. If they're able to hold the trauma, the limiting thoughts, those shadow dragons in a good way, they go through an alchemical process that upgrades their worldview from this whole separation with eco disease towards this interconnection, right? They become one with the force. They find their unique and vital gift. They begin to share it with the world. This is when Barbie liberates all the other Barbies, when Nemo gets his ass back home, when Luke Skywalker becomes one with the force, when Jake Scully lands on that leopard awesome flying wing thing and becomes the fifth Marduk, setting off this evolution, standing up, defending everything that's sacred and essential to life. That's where we're at, right? Simple, epically challenging. What is out of your control? What is within your control? Somatically, are you stressed out? Are you in anger? Are you in anxiety? Worrying about things that are out of control? Are you being ruled by the 99.999% things? Or are you sober to reality, knowing that you're safe, that you're taken care of, that we are protected? Creator, this story, holographic, right? The last 13.8 billion years have evolved to bring about you, brave soul, so you can become the medicine, right? This story is also found in the East in the creation story that has also been rediscovered by Stan Grof, shared in his book, the Encyclopedia of the Psychonauts. Please read it. If you're a psychonaut, required reading. If you're not a psychonaut, I would highly recommend getting on that train. But those medicines aren't for everyone. The great thing, Mr. Stan Grove also found that you can get there through your breath. I'll share a little bit more of the immense power of your breath. So, as Mr. Grove, back in the 60s, administered these LSD towards his patients, clients, they were able to heal the trauma, the shadow dragons within this life. As they went deeper and deeper, he discovered that we all go through um, a birth intro, what's it called? Before, like when we're in the womb, that we all go through this archetypal motif, right? When we're in that womb, when we're first growing, we're in this Neptunian ocean of bliss. If it's a healthy carriage, everything's taken care of. We're like one with our environment. Everything that we need is given to us. We're in this bliss. It's amazing. We're in this oneness type thing. Then, about 9 months later, the womb starts to contract. Imagine you're in this beautiful space, and all of a sudden, oh, contraction, Saturnian, limitations starts pushing you. You don't know where it's going to end. It kind of sucks. Bones are being kind of crushed, muscles are being constrained. Then you reach the crescent, right? You're right at the edge of the Plutonian archetype, death. Everything that you knew has to die. If you're able to midwife, go through that process in our birth healthy, you go into this Uranus, right? A whole new world is opened up. Right? That's another motif to describe the imaginal cell of where we're at right now. And maybe I'll share a little bit more about that. But as he took people further and further, right, they connect towards different life forms, and then they connect towards the beginning of the universe. And this is where the ancient Sanskrit also comes up, that as the one, we had every desire instantly manifested. All our needs were met. We knew the whole story. We found the relish of the thing. We got everything we wanted. Imagining, say, your need is to have chocolate ice cream. After an eons of having chocolate ice cream, every desire instantly met, it got boring. Because awesome all the time kind of sucks. Also, as the one, we realized there was no other. We were alone. No one to dance with, no one to have a conversation with, no one to have an argument, no one to have makeup sex, no one to make love with. Out of this profound boredom and existential longing, we created the biggest game of peekaboo. And boom, the Big Bang, or as this scientist has been describing it as the big breath. Because it wasn't chaotic, it was perfectly set up to evolve, right, into our known world right now. So, explosion, super hot, light. As this light heat expands, it cools. As it cools, quantum particles come into existence. As it continues to expand, it continues to cool. It becomes dark. Gravity starts to take hold. The first hydrogen and helium start to take hold. They start forming a cloud. Gravity keeps pulling them until it keeps pulling them closer and closer and closer until they start bumping with such regularity and intensity, right? Imagine all these boom, boom, boom. That's how you measure heat. It gets hot enough. Boom. Thermonuclear reaction. A star is born. Light returns towards the universe. Light, these stars follow this same path: life, birth, growth. They start consuming the helium, the hydrogen, and once they start running out of these elements, light starts to extinguish. Thermonuclear reactions become less and less. Gravity starts to take hold. Light starts to extinguish. Gravity gets cold. It starts pushing those carbons, those other elements stronger and stronger. It gets hot enough. Boom! The next reaction starts taking place. And this life deck cycle keeps on going until we reach iron. And at iron, it's no longer energetically feasible to keep fusing other elements. So here, the star has three choices, three paths. If it was small enough, then it just, gravity keeps going, it forms a neutron star, it kind of dies into this thing. If it was huge enough, Gravity keeps pulling, and poof, ruptures the space-time continuum, a black hole. What's that? But if it's just perfect, if it's just right, it explodes into a supernova, right? Creating the rest of the elements. These elements spread and gravity takes hold again. And if it's just right, it creates a planet that can sustain life. And somehow, some way, these first hydrocarbons figure out how to replicate and produce. The first bacteria is born. And for billions of years, there was this bacteria. And then somehow, some way, some bacteria figured out, hey, we can figure out photosynthesis, respiration. And boom, sort of like the Industrial Revolution for life takes hold. Plants, reptiles, the beauty of our natural world starts to take hold, and humans evolve. And we're born into this great mother, into kind of Neptunian, we're all in this together type thing. Then we go through this Saturn construction of the patriarchy of the last 5,000 years. We're at this Plutonian thing where everything sacred and essential is being threatened, right? If we're able to midwife this, we go into this Uranus new whole world, right? From the ooze into the imaginal cell, right? And again, how we do it, find your truth. Last little piece, back towards your breath. Why meditation is so amazing, time tested for thousands of years to help you find your truth, to embody your dreams, is that when you're breathing deeply, slowly, you're connecting towards your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is interconnected with your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is sort of like your on-off switch. Controls many things, super simple, there's exceptions, but basically it's your on-off switch between stress and downregulated. When you're able to take a breath, you're able to let go of the 99% of the Wetiko disease of trying to control the outer world. You ground into your core, into your witness, into that fabled flow state. That's your natural state. That's who you were before you were traumatized. Remember your natural awe and curiosity. That's when you know that you're the being in the imaginal cell. And it is a practice, good people. Simple, epically challenging. So, my call to you is to take on a meditation practice. Please, 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 for the love of God. That is what's going to get you connected towards your truth. So, all the resolution in this immense crisis, politically, economically, resolved by you finding your truth. You facing your shadow dragons, slaying those limiting thoughts by listening, understanding, learning how to forgive. Unleashing your transcendental forces of love, mercy, and compassion. Being able to live by the golden rule. Imagine that. This whole second coming, no one's going to save us. This is about us actually living, embodying what's been shared by all the teachers, prophets, and sages. Can we actually listen? Can we actually find the courage to descend into our innermost cave? What's going to happen on the next episode of Planet Earth Late Stages Capitalism? Hottest ticket in the universe. What a blessing that we were born into this world. Please. If you have any questions, please let me know. Meditation, gratitude practices, hit me up. This, indeed, could be a great time. Vámonos, America! Sí, se puede. Let's get it. The OG American dream. Bada beam, bada boom.